I drew 46 colored screen caps from my manga. One scene every day, no pre-planning, no thinking ahead. Every day I start with a new blank canvas and over 2,000 pages to choose from. It was a memorable experience. Hello, my name is Dee, and I'm the creator of the web manga Grey Is, an emotional coming-of-age series about the messy journey of self-discovery, about friendship, and about the delicate balance between emotion and reason. In the month of November, I accidentally committed to a project I didn't plan, redrawing moments from the manga as anime screencaps. Prologue. I always wanted to draw this scene specifically from chapter 13 in anime style. But I never liked coloring, and I suck at clean, simple coloring, which is what cell shading is all about. For some reason, on November 1st, 2024, I opened the canvas and started drawing the reunion moment from chapter 1. I finish, I post, and I write a line on what the manga is about. And suddenly, day 2 rolls in, and I was back on the desk drawing another one from chapter 2. It all happened accidentally, and I didn't feel any pressure or stress from it, so I kept on going. And here are my thoughts. Main takeaway: Art Edition. It was a learning curve indeed to learn to master the anime screen cap look. It seems easy, but it's deceptively simple. Cell shading. You think that drawing and coloring over 200 webtoon episodes would make this task easy, but actually my coloring style still relies on painting and airbrushing and detailed shading, when in animation, everything is super simplified because it's meant to be animated. Everything should be narrowed down to clean lines because those lines are what's going to be animated. What helped? Every time I caught myself overdoing it, I thought, if this is going to be animated, how should I draw it to make it easy to redraw in each frame? Adapting manga to anime. Changes were made when moving from book format to screen format. You're limited to a landscape layout with a set ratio, and if you read Grey Is, you know how much I go all out with panel shapes and how much I rely on page layout and double spreads to tell the story. So this was another limitation that made me change certain scenes to fit the new format. Time. These took around 2 to 4 hours each. Lining and filling in flats usually took less than an hour, while most of the time went into choosing the right mood and effects, especially in the beginning when I didn't know how to make them look like an actual screen cap. Emotional experience. I loved every second of it. I wouldn't have committed if I wasn't enjoying the process. It was nice to revisit older scenes, draw them in my current style. I also enjoyed picking the smaller, less memorable panels and bring them to the big screen. What I hated. My biggest challenge was the trial and error with effects and what they call grading in film vocabulary. I enjoy problem solving, so it was fun overall, but once I finished and realized how it looks different on each monitor I have and then how it looked on my phone, it was truly annoying. I had to go over the finished screen cap one more time and edit further to make it look vibrant and with good contrast on each screen. What I hope to achieve. As a person who has been drawing manga pages every single day for the last 14 years, I love an organized workspace. Well, in the software, I mean. When I create manga, I have everything arranged. I know the pen I'm using, I know the gray percentages for toning, I have auto actions that speed the process, I have all my materials neatly organized, I have templates and all that, all within reach and easy to access. When you want to do something regularly in the most efficient manner, you need a good system to reach all your tools in a fast way, so that over time you develop muscle memory, which results in 1, saving time while working, and 2, easier to hit what they call flow state, where you're doing things without thinking. I didn't have that while creating these, and I wasn't able to develop them due to time constraint, so what I would like to do is to have color palettes for the characters at different times of the day. I'd like to do certain gradients that I can use as overlays just to change the time of the day for the backgrounds. So there's a ton of technical work and organizing to do, and I'm low-key looking forward to this task. Now, I'll go over the screen caps that I created and talk about them. I'll show the original panel, and overall I will share what I learned. Day 1. Love the colors. Love that white looks good. My lines and coloring are both painterly and not as clean as it's needed for anime. I overdid the grain. It was such a treat to draw the oldest scene in the manga in my current style. 9 out of 10 out of emotion alone. Day 2. Even though I did a sloppy job overall, I was happy to draw this important place. My lines are still thick and painterly, and I think double subtitles weren't a good idea. 6.5. Day 3. This is one of the scenes I drew as a doodle long before it appeared in the manga. I did a sloppy job again with the background, mainly because it was a challenge to draw the street underneath them, since they're on top of a pedestrian bridge. But overall, I got better with coloring minimally as needed. 7 out of 10. Day 4. I wanted to test a simple dark background, so I picked an easy panel from chapter 5. 8 out of 10. Day 5. I love Haikyuu's comical backgrounds and moments in the anime, so I was looking forward to working on this one. I also wanted to draw something comical to show more sides of the story and needed the color red, which outside of blood, I don't use. I managed to get better at using one color for shading, which is usually the case in anime, but I overdid the shadows. 5.5 out of 10. Day 6. I love this moment, I love the faces, I love the anger, I love the motion blur at the top and at the bottom. In general, it's hard to make a character that is all white and another that is all black look interesting, but it's easier with white, the one in black hair, because he is the contrast and pops out anywhere, when it's harder with a character like black. But I'm happy with how he turns out here. Extremely biased because it's a dear moment, 9.5 out of 10. Day 7. I wasn't happy with this one. The snowy road gave me trouble. I posted it and many people loved it. Many shared it and many were lured into checking the story and said that they'd watch an anime that looks like that. You never know how you versus others see a piece out of 10. Day 8. I overdid the glow here. It's a look that makes me turn away from an anime, to be honest. I got a little better with the shading and minimalism, but it was challenging to render the atmosphere. 5 out of 10. Day 9. First one without black and white. I felt like I was problem solving how to adapt this into an anime screen cap. Much of the time went into the effects of these glasses. This is how what's being reflected looks without it being a glass. 7.5 out of 10. Day 10. This doesn't work as an anime screen cap, especially white there in the corner. Still, I'm kinda happy with it. The idea of one sky of different gradients was fun. 7 out of 10. Day 11. This is a very dear moment for me, so I was excited for it. This moment happened in the afternoon, as it's shown here now. But originally, every time I thought of it, I visualized it at night. The previous page might be the culprit, with all its black fill. So I spent much of the time trying to understand the color palette for the night scene, only to stop and check the chapter and understand what time it should be. The author have problems with time out of 10. Day 12. Every reader's favorite dad. I wanted to try these simple backgrounds again. I don't think it has the anime screen cap look. 5 out of 10. Day 13. I colored and animated this very simply back in the day, and I feel like the simple background works better. But I really wanted the challenge of how to have this overall desaturated look. The double subtitles makes it even more cluttered. Still, I'm not that annoyed. 6 out of 10. Day 14. The colors are fun and I tried to do very lazy animating with the eyes, mainly because I like both of Black's stairs. Color-wise, it seems that I started to get a better grasp on simple shading and adding few darker shades in certain areas. 8 out of 10. Day 15. Night/dark atmospheres are a little bit tricky. I like the drawing as an illustration. Doesn't really feel like an anime screen cap, maybe an ending shot or something. 7.5 out of 10. Day 16. I'm happy with this one. The lines are a little thicker and painterly, but the color palette is easy on my eyes and minimal as needed. I would like to go and change Black's ribs because something looks off, man. I'm happy with it and I give it 9 out of 10. Day 17. Oof, this one. I did a sloppy job at the end. Like, look at this tree. No effects, no blur at all. Even the grass, man. On the bright side, I love the trees in the foreground. I love the whole atmosphere. Feels silent and cold as snowy days are. It looks too detailed and rendered to be a screen cap. Let's imagine it's just an anime movie adaptation than a regular series episode. I give it 9 out of 10. Day 18. A quick comical panel again. Not much to say about it, too much glow, but I like the colors of black and white here. 6 out of 10. Day 19. Cool atmosphere. Doesn't look too much like a screen cap, but I think there are some animation studios that have this look with the colored glow and high saturated purple. Not a look that would attract my attention, and I feel like I went back to overshadowing. But again, it doesn't know me that much. 6.5 out of 10. Day 20. This one. It was already a sequence in the manga, so I drew it all. The grayscale ones are a bit darker than should be, but I'm happy I got to draw them all. I sketched this back in 2012, it appeared in 2016, and now it's in color. I tried animating that look, and overall I'm satisfied. 9 out of 10. Day 21. another scene that I drew as a sketch years before it appeared in the manga, and now it's colored in my latest style. Still trying to figure out comical backgrounds, and I spent a long time using the hue slider to find my goal. 7.5 out of 10. Day 22. I wish I drew this better. I don't like White's face here, and it would have performed better as a piece if I included the previous panel with black background, I think. I tried to test how they add texture to clothes in anime with the denim jacket. Sloppy job, but I learned something maybe. Overall, 7 out of 10. Day 23. I love this scene. Maybe not too attractive of a color palette, but I'm glad I pushed my limit to bring in a new scheme. I didn't put enough time in this overall, and it looks too sharpened and clean. It lacks any kind of smoothness that anime screen caps tend to have. It reminded me back in the day when I used to watch anime in very low resolution online, and when downloading a torrent with HD or Blu-ray quality, it felt off-putting to see all the quality without any grain, blurriness, and softness. 8 out of 10. Day 24. I love this one. The moment itself, the colors, the coloring, the glow, the boys. 9 out of 10. Day 25. This is like the simplest panel to draw and color, but it took the longest to find the final look. Having White in the dark with a beam of light falling down at Black while he talks about God is very good, but it didn't look anime enough. I didn't know how dark or light I wanted White to be. I didn't know how glowing or soft I wanted Black to look. Love the scene, wasn't satisfied with the execution. 5 out of 10. Day 26. If I go back, I'd fix the shading on White's face to give him a more proper look for his nose, because this ain't it. Black's face needs fixing a bit as well, but overall I'm super happy with how I redrew this and adapted this section of the page into only 2 frames. Again, I love revisiting the oldest scenes and redrawing them. If I can go back, I'd fix the door too. This looks like a sliding door because it has no thickness when it's an actual normal door. Overall, 9 out of 10. Day 27. This shot in the manga doesn't show their faces, so I felt like drawing them, even though I prefer the composition of the interaction in the manga. I'm happy with the colors, happy with how easy and fast White was to draw, so here's a tip. In Clip Studio Paint, the navigator window, keep it close and keep it small. It helps a great deal. I was always able to spot if a drawing is attractive enough or has some mistakes once I'm about to post them using my phone, because I see them as thumbnails, and it's easier to see the problem on that scale. So throughout this challenge, I kept the navigator window open to the side at a small scale, and it was what helped me notice that Black with white eyelashes in such a low contrast image made his eyes, which is what attracts viewers most, disappear. I give it 7 out of 10. Day 28. This is what I was talking about when I said it was fun to bring the smaller, unmemorable panels to the big screen. I enjoyed this one. The colors are out of my comfort zone, but I like them. Overall, I'm satisfied out of 10. Day 29. I wrote this scene as a short story pre-2012. It appeared in the manga in 2017. And both times I only visualized it in colors as an anime. I used panels from the manga, but added a few from the story. I love the colors and the feel, especially the last 2 drawings. It's a very dear scene to me. 9.7 out of 10, man. Day 30. The scene I originally wanted to draw. I didn't save it for last, it truly escaped my mind throughout the month, and I'm glad I remembered it eventually before the month ended. Very, very happy with White. I'm happy with Black too, but for some reason, and this almost never happens with me, it's not as good as I saw it in my head. I almost never hold what I imagine or what I intend to draw highly, but I enjoy the process more than the outcome, so I usually am happy with whatever I end up with, and even when I don't, I just call it a day and move on. I was running out of time that day since it was a Saturday and I stream on that day. I also imagined the whole scene to be in red, oranges, and pink, like in the cover of Volume 2, but Black turned out to be too yellow. I guess that's how it differs from what I see in my head. Anyway, that's it for the commentary. In October, and after those 14 years of working on Grey Is, I reached my giving up arc. Not giving up on creating the manga and sharing it, but giving up on trying to make it reach, marketing it, promoting it, expecting anything from it. And suddenly, this random unplanned project showed me a good way to market the series. Many people were interested in the series, or at least interested enough to repost and share the work, which reached more people. Current readers were excited and engaged with the posts too, by commenting on how it's nice to see a certain scene colored or how it's their favorite moment, etc. When I visited Japan, I talked to multiple manga editors and creators, and usually outside of Japan, we think of a manga getting an anime adaptation as the win, the end goal for every series, when in reality, an anime adaptation is like another marketing tool for the manga. Anime adaptations will raise the sales for the manga. Anime adaptations will allow for production of merch and goods, which, outside of making good money, will bring the series to the public eye and thus promote the manga further. The majority of people are interested in anime more than manga. They're attracted to colors, they enjoy hearing and seeing more than reading. And I find it funny that I never thought about it in regards to my own series. The numbers I received on these posts were nothing out of the ordinary for me, but the engagement, the comments, the questions were something new. For the first time, there were people, not one passerby, but a handful all at once, who were asking for a link or saved the post to read later. And when I think about it, it just makes sense. Seeing 1 or 2 pictures that are simple looking in nature and have just one line of dialogue is way easier to digest in seconds compared to a manga panel with multiple bubbles or a picture that has a few lines of text over or under them in the caption. A colored anime-style screen cap was just enough for people to take notice, read, and be interested. So, where to go from here? As a one-person business, I have to do marketing and promote the work, but it's not my main goal and it'll only burn me out to continue to do this daily. I also like the idea of having this thing kinda like Inktober every year, but one that is related to my manga, the love of my life, and just in celebration of it. So more daily screen caps, no. However, I want to do more screen caps, without a schedule though, because they're just so darn fun to do. Old scenes and maybe even future ones as teasers. Right now, I want to chill a bit in December and focus on the work of writing chapter 76, which has been giving me a bit of a headache, but hopefully I'll be done by it and halfway through storyboarding it by the time this video gets out. Thank you for watching.